welcome to a new episode of Talkability. And today we're going to have a lovely guest and we're going to have an enjoyable conversation about alternative health opportunities for people who might be struggling with migraines, headaches, chronic conditions, and post traumatic stress disorder, which millions of people in this world do suffer from. And if we can give some opportunities that are just so beautiful, like horse therapy, who knew? And this beautiful lady, a colleague of mine, Olga, and please forgive me if I mess up your last name, Belyakova, is going to join us. She is the owner of a nonprofit called Fenix, with an F, not Phoenix with a PH. And she's going to tell you all about it in just a minute. So I'm really happy to be here. This month, we have a lot of different things around mental health and chronic illnesses. And I feel that these are always very important to talk about, especially on a show called Talkability, which is the brand new show here on Diamond Factor Studio Network. And I'm just so happy to be here as your host, Roxy B Rocker, who owns Embracing Disability. And we talk disability issues and we talk about important things around people's remarkable abilities. So I'm going to turn it over to this lovely human being, Olga. And Olga, welcome to the show. And will you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Olga, last name is Belyakova. Thank you, Roxy, for having me here. It's unusual for me, but I'm trying to do my best in talking and do the conversation. I have, as Roxy said, I have a nonprofit. My nonprofit called Phoenix Family Fund with an F because we're trying to call it in European manner, not like PH. And we help burn survivors, and we also have a horse rescue. So we combine the rescued horses in healing for burn survivors and vice versa. So people helping us to rescue horses and take care of them, and rescued horses helping us to heal people, which I think is a great symbiosis, like that works for me and for them and for everyone around me, basically.
How beautiful. So Olga, can you chat a little bit about some of your experience with post traumatic stress disorder and maybe even some of the stories? You don't need to share their name, but some of the stories of maybe a burn survivor that might have gone through PTSD. Um, do you have a personal story or do you know a story that you might be able to share? Because I think storytelling really helps audiences.
Well, as a mom of the burn survivor, right, I do have a PTSD myself.
Yeah.
We started the foundation because of my little one, who is not little anymore. Marina is 25 now, but when she was 1 year and 10 months old, we had a house fire and she was in it and she suffered third and fourth degree burns, and it was mostly 70% of her body. She was in treatment in Shriners till she turned 21. So it's basically almost 18 years. Shriners is like her second home. But talking about PTSD, yes, of course, I do have it. And I'm pretty sure she has it. And it's very hard because sometimes people struggle. They do struggle to feel safe. And a lot of time you don't even know where it come from because you don't realize that you do have PTSD. It's just like you can have negative thoughts, you can have that struggle to feel safe that come from nobody knows where, and you can calm yourself down. And in this case, horses, they are very helpful because they mirroring your emotions and their response in the moment, right there, right now. So they have so many ways to calm you down, to work with you from, like just the breathing exercise, the horse field where you can feel safe, the, the heartbeat, right? They syncing with you so they can calm you down. And we've been doing this for my family in personal for many years because it does help. And Marina spent a lot of time with the horses, and it helps a lot.
Wow. I mean, you know, you hear about horse equine therapy a lot of times for children with special needs and how the horses help calm them down and how the horses are very helpful for people. But to actually think about it as a therapy and how that it's now also helping people who've gone through trauma and who have gone through certain things in their lives, it's truly remarkable that we have these beautiful animals that can give such support and care. And what an amazing opportunity that you're bringing to that. So, I've been studying quietly for 2 years, and now I'm not so quiet about it right now. This thing called dynamic somatic touch, and I can do it virtually and in person on the table, or even sitting in a chair. And, we're either teaching people how to self soothe or self touch, or or I'm touching them on the table through a very tiny, tiny micro movement. But there's so much more deeper to it because I've also been trained in a tool called orthobionomy, and that orthobionomy is an osteopathic tool. So now we're taking this osteopathic tool with this somatic tool and blending it together and giving clients opportunities for their own healing emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and giving them a whole well rounded support and safety in a container that's compassionate. And it sounds like you do a similar thing with the horses out into the world. Um, I just love that there's so many options out there for people. What has been some of the experiences for people who have come to visit?
Well, because of the traditional talk therapy sometimes is not working well for people with PTSD because it's hard for them to open up to the person in a room or even outside, but you need like you still feeling that pressure or expectation that provider wants from you. So when the provider is a horse, basically it feels different because horse in this like connection is your provider who is giving you the treatment basically, and they're healing through nonverbal communication, that hands-on nonverbal things, they work miracles. We have like more type of things beside the horses. Sometimes we combine it. Of course, we do have licensed therapists and they do the walk and talk therapy. You can still, work with them. I am certified in equine therapy and all horse related therapies myself, and I can work with people who also do the sound healing. If it's like we do sadhu boards walking, which is a nails, like it's all combined with that horse therapy while the people are here. And I feel even the nature, right, for the person to be outside in the nature instead of the room, like a medical office feeling, the nature already heals. You feel different when you outside and doing things instead of you kind of like locked in that room and everybody expecting something from you, and it's a lot of pressure. So this pressure is goes away when you're doing the horse therapy in the field right in the forest. Like you have time to recognize your own emotions. Basically you can see them.
How long have you had the horse farm?
Well, the first rescue we did was Pumpkin, our little pony. She been with us 14 years. She's turned 18 this year. So it's been 14 years since we started rescuing. And we have Phoenix Family Fund since 2017. So
That
it's
is
been
really
some time. It's been some time.
Wow, that's really amazing. How many people do you serve?
Depends on the regular month. Sometimes it can be like 30. Sometimes it can be only five because we do groups. We like try to do at least once a year a group for the burn survivors. We connected with burn survivors of New England and Shriners Hospital for Children. So when we begin, we served only, kids and young teens because Marina was younger. So we've been very connected to Shriners Hospital, and we try to
Mm.
help people to get there and to help the community to do the services if they need it. But then Marina is growing up, so her, circle is changing. She moved on to the older people, right? Like, she's an adult now, so we walked
Mhm.
in, and we love the community of the burn survivors of New England. Bison is become our second home, basically, and family, because we love people who are there, and we try to support in any way we can. So when they want to come and spend time with us, we'll also do some master classes. It's always free for burn survivors and their
Wow.
families, whatever we do. So they can just pop up, and we do the art classes, we do music classes, we do like jewelry making workshops, whatever. And it's like basically outside with the horses all the time. So I try to combine it while you doing something, you're still sitting in the horse field, kind of, because horse
Mhm.
field, it's large, so you can sense them, you can feel them, and they still therapeutic for you, even if you're not like completely close to them. So I
Wow.
think this helps a lot.
Olga, are there other organizations that do this with horse therapy, or do they only do this with the special needs population where they're providing horse therapy for young people who have disabilities? Is there a similar organization like yours anywhere else?
I think so. Yes, I think so. I know about the Bina Farm because Bina Farm been there for a long, long time. They supported Shriners Hospital for Children. I don't know, maybe like 15 years ago they started. They do
Where are
equine
they?
therapy, like physical and emotional. So there's
Mm.
two types of therapy. You can ride on a horse, right? It's gonna
Mhm.
be more like a PT, right? It's physical component involved. It helps you with the mental health and also the physical abilities. Or you can work with horse from the ground. So that's another type of therapy. I do know that's getting more and more people like they going towards this because they start to recognize the benefits from the equine therapy, and more people getting certified. More and more barns want to open their doors for this type of treatment and therapeutic experience, which is great because, I mean, it's good for everyone.
And you mentioned earlier that you had a license. What does it take to get a license in equine therapy? You have to go to
Well,
school and learn some things?
yes, you have to go to school and learn the things. I am a nurse, so I do have a
Oh,
medical background also. I've been in nursing school back in Russia, and I started my equine. Actually, my equine therapy certificate is from there first, and then here already I did PASS certification and EGALA certification. There's two like a measure like major schools who does that, but it's couple more different one when you can get add-on certificates on some particular things, right? Like you do somatic work, so you can get some sort of extras on top of it. So I'm learning all the time. There is something new coming up,
I
I'm like,
see.
oh, okay, I'm going to do that certificate too, and then I'm going to do that certificate too. My friend is laughing at me. She's like, you don't have enough walls to put your certificate. So I'm like, I just love to learn, I guess. I don't know.
I,
So it's
thank you so much. You can, thank you so much. Olga, that was wonderful. We're going to go to a commercial break and we'll be right. You can come in.
Friday, everyone. Your real worth isn't defined by your net worth. What makes you valuable is how you use what you have been given. All of us have gifts. Make sure you're making the most of yours. Have an amazing Friday.
It is now the bottom of the hour. I'm excited to welcome Nancy Matthews to our program today. Nancy is an author of a book. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it in the carousel for you guys. There it is, The One Philosophy. I want to talk to Nancy not only about the re-release of the book, but also what it's been like for her to share the message with all of you guys. Nancy, great to have you on with us.
Hello, hello, hello. So happy to be here.
Welcome back. What a great commercial. I wanted to hear what she had to say. So, Olga, I mean, wow, right? And, these, when we're dealing with, so I have PTSD because of my brain injury, and anytime I hear a loud noise, or I'm driving in the car and I see a car coming at me, I'm like, I blacked out. So I don't know what happened when I was in that car. Like, I just don't know. I was on ice. I knew the ice was bad. I wanted to get into a parking lot and turn around and get off of that ice. That's my goal. Well, that didn't happen. Whatever I tried to do, the next thing I know, I'm heading into an ambulance. So, I think from being a brain injury survivor and having post-traumatic stress disorder, you never know when you're going to get triggered. Now, I'm doing somatic work now. So within that somatic work, I'm able to calm things down, have things move differently, have things go into, an experience that I'm saying that it's not even just nervous system reset. I'm saying that it's a full body reset, because the way that this somatic works is so different than me just doing something to calm down a nervous system. So I feel like I'm getting treatment beyond anything I would have ever gotten from a therapist, but only because I've been going through this training, which trainings are wonderful. Learning education is like phenomenal. So over the time that you've been doing this, you've been a nurse, you had a child that was severely injured, and then you go through your own experience. What have you learned? What has been invaluable to you? Can you share that with the audience? Are you frozen, Olga?
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So, Olga, I'm curious, with your nursing background and all of that, what can you share has been some learnings around post-traumatic stress disorder? Especially, you've had it with your daughter, you've had it in your own life, and you've seen some things, I'm sure, with either your current clients or even family members that have gone through this when some kind of traumatic episode starts. So what has been some learnings or some things that might have been significant?
Well, this is kind of still hard for me. It's been, Marina is 25. She's going to be 26 this year. So it's been 24 years for me, right? And it's still hard. Like, for me personally, I think I still did not work it through myself, because I had to be strong for many, many years. And it's just like, when your child is fighting for life, everything around has just become a background noise. You don't see it, you don't live it, you don't like even recognize it. So I learned the difference between important things, I think, and not important things, and how to recognize those. So that's a great experience. The life is a good teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. She's a burn survivor today, so it's only like one part of her story, like for Marina. I can see the strength, and I can see how strong, beautiful, and determined. How she living her life fully. I don't know if it's with the help of the horses or with the help of the way we live our life nowadays, right? I know she spent a lot of time with me, with the family, with the horses. We never did particular therapy with her, but she is there with them. Like, and I can see her open up. I don't know. You saw her, right? Like she's, I don't know, she's just bright, and
She's bright and
you
vibrant.
don't even see that she's full of scars. But when you start talking to her, you don't see that.
Right.
I don't know. People open up again because it's encouraging, right? It's encouraging them to open up in front of the horse. It's encouraging them to use that model with the ground-based work. Like, you don't have to ride, so you don't have that fear that you need to climb on the big animal and what happened to you. So you're just there on the ground and you do some activities and you see the response. When you see the response from the horse, you can feel the response in you, and it's like coming naturally. You don't have to pull it out, you don't have to push yourself, you don't have to be anything but you in this particular situation. So I don't know, I think I learned that it's important to be you. I think that's it. It's just important to find a place where you can be you, where you don't
Well,
need to play the roles. And then where,
mhm.
like, that's exactly where therapy starts. When nobody's expecting anything from you, so you don't have to be someone else to please the people, whoever around
Mhm.
you, to give the answers that they're waiting from you. Horse is not waiting for anything, like
Right.
anything. It's just there, and it's just be. So you're trying to be, like, just be. That's it. That's it.
Well,
That's, I think, the main lesson.
well, I mean, Olga, isn't that the most important thing, that like we're just even in the version of life that that when we're trying to gain self-awareness, we're learning how to be, just be, to be in beinghood.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
isn't that like, it's almost like the design of life, how to
Yes.
become your
I think
beinghood,
that's yes.
right?
I think
Like,
that's the most important thing.
and how do we teach that? And and here's the beautiful part. You're saying that when they're interacting with a horse, and then there's no trauma that you have to climb on top of it. There's no trauma. Oh my God, am I going to fall off? Oh my God, how am I going to get on it? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Instead, I'm just going to be near the horse. Maybe I brush the horse. Maybe I touch the horse. Maybe I feed the horse. I don't know. I haven't been doing this yet. But this is my concept, and my visual pictures in my head is saying that here's a great way to deal with trauma. You don't have to deal with these stories of, oh my God, I have to go and do this activity that's going to be hard. Now I can do this activity that's going to be whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
so then you then can have comfort, you can have peace, you can have safety while you do that.
yes. I do have people who are afraid of the horses. They afraid of the horses, even stay near the horse. Like, they cannot brush or do anything, and that's fine also. Because as I said, the horse field is covered some area around them, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's different types of therapy. You can just sit there and look at the herd. And when you're sitting there and look at the herd and how they're acting to each other, what they're doing, you find the patterns. You find the patterns that you live in your life, because they're going to mirror you. You're going to find that particular horse. You're going to see that horse, and you're going to choose the horse that acting like you. So this is like same, right, interaction between humans, right, person to person. So you see in the person whatever is missing in you or whatever you have, right? So this is the same pattern here. You look at the herd, you look at their dynamics, right? And you can see like, oh, I do that in life too. Maybe I should work on that part because it doesn't look good. Or maybe, oh, I need to do more of this. Look at them, how they, like groom each other, how they take care of each other, how they do these things. So this is another way of doing therapy. It's still therapeutic, but you don't have to be like too close. So you still there, you're feeling safe and you're working on yourself and you still in that being mode. Just you, just be, just sit there and observe. Very helpful.
Olga, I love the passion. The passion is what makes this beautiful. The passion is what makes this real. Right? This is authentic. We want this type of conversation. We need these types of conversations to be more authentic and be more personal and to be more open-minded, right? And just be talking about how life is. And when the horses are just kind of being the horses, and then the people can come and they can be themselves, there's a nice collaborative there that is happening. Now, I talk a lot about inclusive values. I talk a lot about, this subject is around PTSD. So if there was something, because we're probably going to be wrapping up very soon, there was something that you wanted to tell the audience or share with the audience around any kind of trauma or any kind of, how this alternative therapy could be beneficial. What do you want to share with the audience? What would you want them to leave with to have that knowledge, that armor of goodness that they're going to receive from you?
That I just want to say that people need to try to, even if it's not a horse therapy, but I want to say that people need to try to just stop and think and try to just be whatever they're doing in their life. It's so many things, like now life is so fast. It's so fast. Everything is so fast. Like you scrolling fast, you moving fast, you working fast. You just need to stop. You just need to stop and ground yourself. And if we are talking about horse therapy, I do recommend everyone to just go and see the horse. It's a lot of horses in Massachusetts. You don't have to come to me, but if you want to, you're always welcome. We are open for the barn tours and the therapy and everything. But just go look at them. Look at their eyes. Like, look at them. They're magical. I don't know. I feel so passionate about that. So just go pet it. Go look at it. Go. I don't know. You're gonna. I'm telling you. I promise. You're gonna get a unique feedback. Like you will feel it. Even if you don't believe it, you will get your unique feedback from the horse. Go talk to the horse.
So, Olga, I can't thank you enough. I mean, PTSD is such an interesting topic, but I think it even became more interesting that we're talking about alternative health. And then now we're adding in the animal therapy, and we're adding in that horses are amazing and horses are remarkable and horses are beautiful, right? We're adding it in. And when we add that in, it becomes even a more valuable piece of life, right? Because now we're bringing in nature and we're bringing in animals. So again, you brought passion, you brought education, and you brought really unique information to us. And I can't thank you enough. Thank you for joining us today on a great episode of Talkabilly, where we had Olga Belyakova, and she brought us into the world of horse therapy. And we are so grateful and thank you for that. This is Roxy B. Rocker with Talkability, and we cannot wait to share another episode with you very soon. We're going to be having some very special guests on the next episode. They are my best friends, my family, my sisters of over 30 plus years. We're going to be having a heartfelt conversation on Alzheimer's. and the path that my sisters have had to go down with their mom and having that diagnosis. So today was PTSD. Next time, we're going to be talking about Alzheimer's and caregiving roles. And maybe, just maybe, get out your tissues because it could be an emotional ride. Thank you again, Olga. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Roxy,
much
for
for
having
joining
me.
us
I
on
appreciate
Talkability.
that. Thank you.